Can you tell us a little bit about where you went? Where did we go this weekend? Give us some context. Who was competing? Who were you competing against? Let's just start with that.
This weekend we went to the Stegmuller Classic, which was the national preview meet, which was at University of Southern Indiana, and we saw a lot of the top teams in the country. Saw number 5 Southern Indiana, number 9 CSU Pueblo, number 13 Lewis, number 14 Lee, number 25 Northwest Missouri, and there's a few other teams receiving votes in there. On the women's side, we saw number 5 Southern Indiana and number 19 Lee, and then some teams that were receiving votes as well. So it was a very competitive field.
So as you go through it, highlights, and maybe we'll just start with the men's side. What would you say was probably the highlight of the weekend for you, or from your perspective?
The guys ran with a little bit of a chip on their shoulder. They definitely felt disrespected by the polls that came out and had us ranked 22nd in the country. They believed that they were competing at a much higher level than that. So they went out and their goal was to win, and they did just that. So winning was absolutely the highlight of this weekend. We weren't really concerned with how we went about it. We obviously wanted to put as many guys in the top 10 and the top 5 as possible. So going 2, 3, 8 was huge, but then really having our 4, 5, 6 runners run strong enough to bring home the victory, that was the highlight of the weekend.
Are we at the point of the year where you've raced your entire team, or are we at the point where this is the team that we'll see at the regional or the conference championship?
We're still missing a few guys. There were 3 guys that did not compete that are within our top 10. Most notably, probably our number 3 runner, Tim Honig, has not raced yet. He'll open up at the end of this month. So I definitely believe there's more spots to move up as a team, but I'm still very pleased with the group that did race and how they competed.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the women. We've got a lot of new faces, no seniors, it looks like. Can you talk us through the results on the women's side?
Very happy with how the women did as well. When you take out the D1 teams, we were 2 points behind number 5 Southern Indiana, with Hannah getting the win as an individual, which was huge for the program, and Lucy not far behind in 4th. Our group is really the strength of the women's team, so really our 3 through 7 runners and kind of keeping them together and then eventually moving that pack up. Very happy with the overall result. I mean, we were just 2 points off of knocking off the number 5 team in the country, so very happy with how we can progress, but we definitely have a large contribution from our freshman class on the women's side.
Moving forward with the rest of the season, the next thing on the schedule is the Royals Challenge on September 29th. Can you tell us what we should expect from that race, probably on the men's side and then on the women's side?
The goal going into that one is to focus on things that really we didn't do our best at on Saturday. So maybe for some people that's getting out a little bit harder. For other people, maybe it's getting out a little bit more controlled and pushing more the middle of the race. So everyone has something that they took away from the race this past weekend, and that's what we want to work on these next 2 meets coming up. We're still intending to run fast. I don't believe in doing workouts or anything along those lines, but we're not as emotionally as prepared as we would be going into the end of the season.
Following that, we have the Queen City Invite, and then the following weekend after that, the conference championship. Can you tell us some of the expectations at the conference level? We've now raced 3 weekends, so the interesting thing will be, who do you see being the top 3 on either side at the conference championship?
Yeah, conference will be good. Again, with our teams, we're looking to be podium on the men's side at the national championships, and then top 10 on the women's side. We're not really too concerned necessarily about the conference, because again, if we're concerned about teams that are just trying to make it to the top 5 within the region, we're looking at the wrong things, I think. And that's not meant disrespectfully to any team in the conference. It's just the reality of we're one of the top programs in the country. And I want our team, I want us looking at the Adams States of the world, the Grand Valleys of the world. I don't want us concerned with teams that aren't trying to be the best in the country, because that's really where we are talent-wise. That's where we are work ethic-wise. So our focus is really on what can we do to prepare ourselves to be our best at the national championships. I don't think you finish on the podium and not win your conference. So on the men's side, winning conference, absolutely. Again, I don't think you finish top 10 in the country and not win your conference meet. So on the women's side, looking to win conference as well. So, but really the overreaching goal here is being our best at the national championships.
So would you say then, moving on to the regional championship, that theme follows as well?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, again, regionals are really just a means to get to the national championships. But that being said, if we're not looking to compete for the championship, then I think our goals at nationals are a little bit would change those a little bit. So I know that if you're trying to get on the podium at the national championship, you're also trying to win your regional championship. If you're trying to finish top 10 at the national championship, you're also trying to win your regional championship. So we're very much focused on that. Mount Olive's got a tough team on the men and women's side, so that'll give us a good challenge. But I know that with the work we're putting in and the growth that we have in front of us, things are looking up.
Cool, thanks.